Welcome back to Motivotalks, where small habits build great lives. In our last episode, we explored how tiny cues shape our habits and how making habits obvious can create life-changing outcomes. Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful tools for building better habits: self-control. Now, most people think that self-control is all about willpower. But here's the truth: self-control isn't something you're born with. It's something you can design. And, just like any other habit, self-control thrives in the right environment. Let's start by debunking a common myth. Self-control is not about having strong willpower. Think about it. How many times have you promised yourself you'd wake up early to work out, but when the alarm rings, your bed feels so much more comfortable? The truth is, willpower is limited. It's like a battery. Once it runs out, you're left with nothing. And that's when the unhealthy habits creep in. But here's the thing: you don't need willpower to change your habits. Instead, you need to design your environment and your routine in a way that supports your desired behaviors without relying on willpower alone. The environment is the invisible hand that shapes human behavior. James Clear emphasizes this in Atomic Habits, and it's crucial for understanding self-control. Our environment isn't just where we live, it's everything around us that shapes our decisions. Let's break it down. If you want to eat healthy, don't keep junk food in the house. If it's not there, you won't be tempted. If you want to focus and get work done, create a workspace that's free of distractions. If you want to be more active, set your gym clothes out the night before, so they're the first thing you see when you wake up. Environment design is the real secret to self-control. Remember when we talked about cues in the last episode? Your habits start with small signals, cues that your brain picks up even if you don't consciously notice them. Now, these cues can either trigger good habits or bad ones. For example, you check your phone the moment it lights up. It's a cue. You eat a snack the moment you see a bag of chips. That's a cue, too. To build better habits and strengthen self-control, you have to make the cues for bad habits invisible and the cues for good habits obvious. This means you can't rely on willpower to resist the temptation. You simply need to remove the cues. The second law of behavior change is, make it attractive. But how does this relate to self-control? You see, self-control isn't just about resisting the bad stuff. It's about making the good stuff so appealing that you want to do it. Here's how you can apply this to your life. If you want to read more, get a book that excites you and place it on your pillow. If you want to exercise, find a form of physical activity you love. When you enjoy what you do, it's not self-control, it's simply fun. Self-control becomes effortless when you can make the habits you want to build feel attractive. One of the biggest challenges to self-control is instant gratification. Think about how we often give in to our impulses because we want a quick reward. It's why we reach for the phone, or grab a sugary snack. The reward feels immediate, while the benefit of a good habit is often delayed. But here's where self-control can be built into the system. Break your habits into smaller chunks that provide instant rewards. For instance, after 10 minutes of studying, reward yourself with a 5-minute break. Or, after completing a workout, enjoy a relaxing shower or a healthy snack. By pairing habits with instant gratification, you can trick your brain into wanting the long-term rewards of those habits. Remember what we said before: self-control isn't about motivation or willpower. It's about designing your life so that making the right choices is easy. So, how do you design for success? Make good habits obvious. Place your workout clothes where you can see them. Make bad habits invisible. Keep unhealthy food out of sight, or, better yet, out of your house. Use the 2-minute rule. Start with something small. Want to read more? Read just 2 pages every night. Stack habits, attach a new habit to something you already do. For example, after brushing your teeth, do 2 minutes of stretching. By designing your environment to support good habits and remove the cues for bad ones, self-control becomes effortless. Let's talk about identity. James Clear says, "The goal is not to run a marathon, the goal is to become a runner." When you build good habits, you're not just changing your actions, you're changing who you believe yourself to be. So if you want to be someone who exercises regularly, start seeing yourself as a fit person. The more you repeat the behavior, the more your brain links that identity to the habit. If you want to be productive, start identifying as a focused person. Self-control doesn't just come from trying harder, it comes from aligning your actions with the identity you want to create. Here are some practical tips for building better self-control. Start small, tackle one habit at a time. Use reminders, set visual cues to prompt your behavior. Reward yourself, give yourself small rewards to reinforce the habit. Be kind to yourself, self-control isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Remember, small changes add up to big results. Build your environment, reshape your identity, and self-control will follow. To wrap up, self-control is not about fighting your impulses or relying on willpower. It's about designing a life where good habits are easy, and bad habits are hard. The fireman didn't survive because of sheer willpower. He survived because he recognized the cues others missed. And the same goes for your habits. Want to change your life? Change your environment. Want to build self-control? Design your habits. This was episode 7 of Atomic Habits Explained. In the next episode, we'll dive into how to make a habit irresistible. Until then, keep designing your habits, and keep growing. This is Motivotalks, where small habits build great lives.